How's it going, everybody? So today I wanted to talk about my Buff Orpington chickens. I decided to go with Buff Orpingtons because I wanted a really good, well-rounded bird. One that could lay a good amount of eggs and one that would turn out to be a pretty decent meat bird as well. Beyond being pretty good at that, the Buff Orpingtons also do a pretty good job of foraging. I read somewhere that they're not great foragers, but they forage a lot. They've managed to keep this grass at pretty much the same level for about 3 months now. I have not cut this grass, and they've just kept it at level, So I see them digging around and pecking and getting bugs out of the ground. They do a good job of that. They're also pretty friendly birds. They're obviously not scared of me. They all come up to me. They associate me with little treats like scratch greens and fruits and things like that. And that's another reason why they're happy to be around me. So even the rooster is pretty nice. He's not too mean. We got 2 roosters and 20 hens total. Right now, out of these birds, I'm getting out of the 20 hens, I'm getting about 15 eggs a day. And that's not including one chicken that is broody. I'm leaving her on the nest and just seeing what she does, seeing how well she can hatch out chicks. But out of these 20 hens, we really just have one that's broody right now. So I also read that Buff Orpingtons have a reputation for going broody. We do have one that's broody. I think a couple other ones would sit on the nest during the day, but they get off of their nest at night. More of them may grow broody as time goes on. But right now we have one that's broody. And these birds are not that old either. They're about 7 to 8 months old. So they're not very old birds. They have plenty of time to kind of show me more of their characteristics. But so far, they're chickens, and they chicken for sure, and they pretty much are pretty easy to deal with, pretty big birds. They haven't fallen prey to any hawks or any real predators out here since they've been here. They're pretty durable and pretty sturdy. So I have really nothing bad to say about Buff Orpingtons. I would say that in general with chickens, everything's a trade-off. So if you want a chicken that lays a lot of eggs, you're going to sacrifice on meat. If you want a chicken that makes a lot of meat, you're going to sacrifice on eggs. Buff Orpingtons are a good hybrid between those two things. But I do think that they're underrated in terms of their ability to forage. As you can see them foraging and scratching right now. You see a few of them doing that. But they've, from what I read online, is that they don't forage too much. But that's not been my experience with these Buff Orpingtons. They forage a good amount. You just have to, I don't even really think you have to encourage them to forage, but I'd say if your chickens are not foraging, you can encourage them to forage simply by just throwing scratch grains in the grass and just not feeding it to them in a bowl or in a feeder. Make sure you feed the scratch grains by just throwing it in the grass. And that just encourages them to kind of scratch around and look for stuff. But I don't really think I've had to do that. I mean, I throw the scratch grains in the grass, but they've always foraged pretty good. The first day I put them on the grass, they were out here digging around and eating the tops of the grass and pecking for bugs and things like that. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the birds. The eggs come out like a pinkish, light brownish type color, and the eggs are, I'd say, medium to large size, large to jumbo. Sometimes I've had a couple jumbo eggs, but I don't have a ton of jumbo eggs. I have mainly large and you could say medium size eggs. Again, these chickens are pretty young and they've just started laying. They've only been laying for about 2 months. And so, the eggs will continue to get bigger over time, but so far that's what I got out of them. But yeah, again, pretty friendly. See, this one's pecking at my feet over here, but not hard, not aggressively. And the 2 roosters do a good job, and they're pretty good sized roosters. And they do a good job of mounting these chicks a lot and keeping them fertile. So we'll see how well they hatch off eggs over time. But just wanted to give you my review of the Buff Orpingtons. They're good birds. I think they're a good hybrid bird. If you want a good, well-rounded hybrid bird that is good about, laying eggs and also maybe a potentially good meat bird, I think that's, going with Buff Orpingtons might be a good choice. They're also real pretty birds. A lot of people comment on how pretty they are. They like the golden brown color, and as you notice that they're not too noisy. That's the first time he's crowed since I've been recording this video, and so they're not too noisy. They're just pretty reasonable birds overall. So that's just my review of them. But it all depends on what you're going for. And just remember, with chickens, and just like in life, everything's a trade-off. So like I said, if you get a bird that doesn't require a lot of feed, it's not going to produce a lot as much. If you get a bird that requires more feed, it probably will produce more. It's just if you get a bird that produces a lot of eggs, you're probably going to get less meat. Get a bird that produces a lot of meat, probably going to get less eggs. You're going to get fertilizer out of any chicken bird, though. So if you're looking for fertilizer, you're going to get it out of chickens. They produce plenty of that. So anyway, that's all, folks. I hope that was helpful in your decision. If you're out looking for chickens, and if you were considering Buff Orpingtons, they have my pass, but I think that you could do well with a lot of breeds of chickens, I believe. But I'll continue with these Buff Orpington chickens. I think they're good for me and what I do, so maybe they can be good for you. Okay? I hope that helped, guys. Take it easy. All right, peace out.